yesterday was quite a day, to say the least, and it's definitely one that, I dare say, will go down in memory as, not just memory, in the history books, as a disgrace to democracy, quite frankly, and, an event likened to the potential of the Beer House Putsch, but a lot less successful. People are calling it a coup. It wasn't a coup. There was no success. There couldn't be success from that ragtag team of middle-aged men, believing their right falls entirely in inflamed bigotry, racism, xenophobia, and fascism. But still, it's a huge issue. It was an act of terrorism. That's undeniable. That was a riotous act of terrorism. That was a threat to national security. If you don't know what I'm on about, which I'm very surprised if you don't, it was the fact that a large mass, very large mass, of alt-right, as I may say, Trump glorifiers, sieged, stormed, damaged through destruction of doors and windows, and brought explosives, weaponry, and armed vests and heavy utility into the Capitol in Washington, D.C. Let me repeat that. A group of alt-right glorifiers stormed the Capitol. Where does that fall into being anywhere okay? And why did they do it? Because they believe the election is fraudulent with no evidence. A democratic election that was won democratically by a majority college vote was won democratically by a majority college vote, but it's fraudulent because their master, their so sacred lord they claim it's not for, yet they lick his boots and kiss his arse. They claim it's for the Constitution. The Constitution includes democracy. The Constitution includes the fact that if a person is voted in by a democratic vote, there's no contest. When you have no evidence for fraud, and you're only going by that because Big Orange Man say so, you're doing it for him. You're doing it for him. And he tweeted, he fueled these fires. These people feed off his words and his tweets and his messages going out. Those are literal incitations of this. He made this not happen, but he made it so much worse. He enforced this. And also, let me just specify how in calling for this march, as he called it, he specified that he wanted big crowds. Big crowds in the middle of a pandemic. That should be enough for, condemnation. Take away the fact that they're literal fundamental militants. Yeah. Big crowds. Specifying that when you know that millions have died. And you look back a few months ago, when, in the same place, Capitol, there was a Black Lives Matter protest. The difference in police presence, in police activity, in police doing, in police violence. These people waltzed right in and the police fucking stepped away. When Black Lives Matter were protesting, they couldn't even make it 2 blocks in without being tear gassed and without being beat. If you don't see the disparity there, you are blind. You are literally blind. There's video of National Guard helping people walk down the stairs. They're aiding these people, they're abetting these people, and when someone comes and asks for, equal rights based on just the tone of their skin, they get murdered for no reason, they get booted in the fucking skull, they get hemorrhages, they get shoved. But this is fine. This is literal domestic terrorism. The Black Lives Matter may have been violent, but they have a cause. They had reason to be angry. 400 and more years of injustice backs up more than the fact that your bigotry feels inflamed. You feel attacked because other people want to be as equal as you are because you're a suburban white dad. Some people protesting beforehand didn't have money to buy food because of the economic system they live in. When you have enough money to buy 18 rifles and a fucking full bulletproof vest, you have no reason to feel threatened. You are the threat. And coming in like this, thinking this is your right, thinking this is appropriate, thinking this is what needs to be done, this is what is politically correct. You're a fucking terrorist. And people tried to argue, well, they didn't, blow anything up. They didn't kill mass amounts of people. Neither did Black Lives Matter, neither did Antifa, and you want to name them people. But they did kill people. Some of them were armed with explosives. They did damage property, and the big main capital, the whole of Washington DC, had to go into lockdown over terror. Terrorism is inflicting terror. People felt endangered, and I'm willing to bet, which I would never want to see this happen, but I'm sure that there were certain people in the extremes of this group who, while this was going on, took this advantage to go around and vandalize and damage and, attack black businesses. I have no evidence for this, and I'm saying this as a speculative theory, but I'm almost certain that this has, or something like this has happened, and we'll see evidence of it soon. This is terrorism. This is the world right now. And this is proof not only that police in the United States are on the side of the wrong, this is proof that fascism is on its absolute rise. Late capitalism is dead. We're in the movement for fascism, and this isn't good at all. And this is the way things are going, and it's going to get worse. I hope people know that. It's going to get worse if nothing is done. And this is not what needs to be done. If you're one of these people, if you think this is okay, if you think this is justifiable, if you want to argue on the sake and side of these people, please change your mind, learn, educate, look at yourself, look realistically at the situation we're in, and grow the fuck up or fuck off, honestly.